Hey ladies and gents, this is Linda, Shabby Chic 777, and today I'm coming at you with the design team project for Reneabouquets. Now this particular project is for a swap, and we decided to make something that TikToks. We decided to make a clock, only I didn't want to just go with a regular clock. I wanted it to obviously be used as home decor, but also to be used as like a memory album if she wanted to house some photos inside and display it that way. So I'm going to move my sign out of the way, show you what I came up with. Okay, put it into view. So here is my album. Don't worry, y'all, we'll get a little bit more up close and personal with it in a moment. What I did is I used the Prima memory hardware line by Frank Garcia, the Gatefold album, and I kind of disassembled it a little bit. I used the whole outer cover of the album, but it also comes with 8 pages on the inside. However, the pages, while the front cover is 2 halves, you know, so that it opens, you know, like a gate, the inside pages are an entire sheets, like the size of the whole cover. So what I did is I took 4 of the pages out, and it's hard to explain this, you guys. So there's 2 sets of pages on each side, and let me kind of show you like this. See how I've got, like, here's a page, that's one set of page. And here's a page, that's another set of page, but that's 4 pages. The album was already kind of done for me. Each set of 2 pages was already hooked together with kind of the spine in the middle. But I disassembled it and I saved 2 of the sets and kept 2 of the sets in here. Does that sound right? 4 sets. Took 2 sets out, kept 2 of the sets. But then I didn't want each of the pages to be the whole size like this. I wanted it to be the half pages like the front of the album. So what I did is I cut each of the pages in half to be the size of these half pages on the cover. Is that explanatory? Hope did that right. And now it's actually kind of hard to do because the chipboard that's used in this memory album, it is thick, and which is great because that means it's durable. But you know, I couldn't even use my swing arm cutter. I had to go with a craft knife and a ruler, and I had to make several cuts and just to go through each layer of the chipboard. But like I said, that makes it great because it's durable. So the paper lines I used was, most of it is the Sweet Paris collection by Dovecraft because of the pinks and the creams and the greens. Threw in a little bit of the new release by Prima, the Debutante collection, which can be found in Renee's shop. And then I also threw in like 1 sheet of K & Company paper, and I couldn't tell you what line it was from, but 1 sheet because, you know, the colors all match together really well. So I'm going to raise my camera up a little bit and see if we can't adjust this so that I can bring this camera up a little bit closer. I apologize for my lighting. I am filming in daylight. I do have 2 windows in my craft room. However, they are obscured by a covered porch. So although I can see out into the prettiness of the area, I don't get much light in because the porch covers it. So I have to kind of go with my daylight lamp. So it kind of changes the coloring, and I often get a lot of shadows. But hopefully you can see it well enough. So let me show you up close. I've got the Dovecraft collection on the outside. Goes all the way around the perimeter. You can see I sewed all my papers. Here's the canvas piece I used for the back. I was able to find a canvas that kind of had 2 frames on it hooked together. It wasn't just 1 frame with a canvas on it. It was kind of like a double frame, I guess you could say. And the inner frame kind of worked, and it was both frames. The oddest thing was kind of joined by a thin layer of wood in between, so I was able to kind of cut the larger outer frame away from the inner frame and use that because This has a clock in it, and I wanted to be able to set the clock back off of the album a little bit so that she could use the pages. And then I can still have some embellishments. So basically I kind of wanted it to be like a shadow box off the back of the album. I had to still sand down the frame of the canvas a little bit to make it fit, because I wanted it flush with the album itself, which is about like 6.5 by 6.5. Okay. Let me show you from the top a little bit better so you can see my pages. There's one set of pages, two set of pages, and you can see how I cut them down a little bit, but they are still interlocked. But cut them down so that when it opens, you can still see the clock if you want. Okay, paint everything black with some black gesso, all the edges and everything, because I knew the edges would be seen. I didn't want it just naked chipboard. Okay, so let's start on the front cover. The first thing I did is I took a Prima mask, the little crackle mask, and while the modeling paste was still wet, I did, which I love to do, I took Reneabouquets Chunky Glitter Glass in the sand color. As all of you know that, see me do projects with their glitter glass. This sand color is actually like a really, really, really pale blush kind of color, pink, very beautiful, very vintage looking. And while the modeling paste is still wet, I pour the glitter glass on top, and then I press it into the modeling paste, and then I take a heat gun and I set the modeling paste, dry it all up, and so then the glitter glass is stuck in there, and it just gives it just a beautiful romantic texture. I use glitter glass everywhere else on all the embellishments and things like that as well. See glitter glass kind of off the fountain a little bit. And when I did that, I used the Prima 3D matte gel as the adhesive to, lay that glitter glass down. So on this left side, this is beautiful crochet lace from Renee's shop. It's the natural Cluny lace, and the number is 001. So I just laid that down the left side here. On top of that, I layered this beautiful Prima Shabby Chic Treasures Resin Garden Fountain, also from Renee's shop. She carries a lot of Prima resins, Ingville Bohm by Ingville Bohm, which is this, metals, flowers. She's got the new collections in, like I was telling you, the Debutante collection and the Garden Fable collection by Prima. She's got that in. She got in some new Petaloo gorgeous flowers, which I'm a little disappointed. Whenever Renee sends me, just a side story for you, she sends me my design team package, I will usually order extra stuff to go with it, so that she, it saves on shipping costs for me, and she doesn't have to use, 2 boxes to mail it and use her supply in. And I had placed an order for a few more things, and right after it, about 2 days later, she gets in, I ordered one set of beautiful Prima flowers, but she gets in a ton more sets of beautiful Petaloo flowers. Gorgeous. I cannot wait to go back and get some more. Hopefully they're still there. I'm just going to wait till next month's design team project to order some for myself. But she just, long story short, just got a ton of new product in. You need to go check it out. So anyway, back to the bird bath. Laying on top of that, this is a beautiful Reneabouquets dragonfly. This dragonfly is called the Shabby Pink Rose. The wings for me were a little bit long. I'd say about maybe another 1/4 inch. I just cut them down a little bit. She does make some tiny treasures. Let me explain that to you. She's got regular butterflies and dragonflies in big sizes, and then if you click on her section, it says tiny treasures. They are the dragonflies and the butterflies in a smaller size. Okay, you normally will get like 5 of those in a package versus the regular size where you'll get 3. So if you need, smaller size butterflies or dragonflies, but in this case I didn't have the smaller, so I just cut the wings down a little bit, and that was perfect. Then I've got some Prima and Wild Orchid Craft flowers coming down here. This flower is the Rolled Roses by the Prima Jody Lee Butterfly Collection. It's called the Corium Flowers, and those are in Renee's shop. You can see my glitter glass on there. I've got a bead landing gear in here. bronze one with glitter glass on it. This flower is also from Reneabouquets shop. These come in a set of 6, and they are called the Camellia Pink flowers. I love these. She's got a few different colors. They have the stems on them. They remind me of those flowers that you could get by Prima, and I mention that a lot because I want you guys to know about that. Those of us that can't really find those flowers anymore. They were the flowers with the long stems on them. Anyway, this is a gem by the Prima Debutante collection. That's just from my stash. This is a Prima metal sign from my stash. It says Dream Road on it. Over on this side, I'll give you a good look. The bottom layer is a Prima Shabby Chic Treasures resin oval frame. Those frames you can get out of Renee's shop. I use a Prima light bulb that says Us on it. Again with the corium flowers from Renee's shop, some Wild Orchid Craft flowers. This is a beautiful Tiny Treasures butterfly from Renee's shop. This is called Ice. Just gorgeous. Already comes with all that glitter glass on it. I love it because it's just a clear. It looks kind of blue in my lighting, but it's just a, the base is kind of like a white, and then it's clear glitter glass on top. So very multi-use, you know, a lot of projects it would work on. And what I did is I took off the antenna off the back, the antennas that they come with, and I layered on top of it one of the little Prima Junkyard Findings clock hands that you can find in Renee's shop. And then I layered, this is a teeny tiny little metal rose from my stash, and I wish I could remember the brand names of these, but I love these. I almost wonder if they're bead landing, these little tiny metal roses. Anyway, one moment, please. Just mute that ring there. I think that'll work. Yep, okay, sorry about that. At the bottom, I did a little bit more stenciling. This is a Prima stencil, and I stenciled Always and Forever down there because, you know, I like to make my pieces romantic, so that's what I did there. For the closure, this is again from the Memory Hardware line by Frank Garcia. It's just a little lock on top of that. That's from my stash. So there's the front of the album. Okay, and then it will just, see if I can do this one-handed, it will just open up. And then we come to the inside. I'll kind of show it to you this way. There you can see the beautiful Sweet Paris collection. Love it. I love the roses. It kind of reminds me of the Prima Tea Time paper. And what I did is I just kind of decorated the front 2 pages. Because I made the pages smaller, I only decorated the front so that if she displays this open, she's got a little bit of decoration there. But I left the other pages blank so that if she wanted to add photos, so that she has real estate for photos. There, let's go that way so you can kind of see. I know it's a little bit dark over there, you guys. Sorry. So on this side, on this page, what I did is I made a little lacy pocket. Get the lighting in there a little bit. That's actually, it's a little bit dark, but a little bit better. I made a little lacy pocket, and behind the lace pocket, since I wanted to glue on top, I added some acrylic. You can hear that. So that it gave me something to glue to and wouldn't glue my pocket shut, obviously. I'm going to bring it in. It'll be a little dark, but you'll be able to see a little bit better. I added, this is just some of that Paper Studio little rosette trim on top of there. And then layering on top of that, this is one of those $2 bin resin frames from Michaels, the little square one. And then layered on top of that, this is the Prima Junkyard Findings clock face and clock hands that you can find in Renee's shop. I layered one of those little... from the Prima collections, it was the water pipe parts and the water drips. This is the water drip, and it has the word time on it. This is another gem from the Debutante collection. And then I layered some Michael's dollar bin flowers here. This is some Petaloo flowers here. And this is from the Debutante collection, some flowers. And then down below, this is from the $2 bin at Michael's, those wood words. Sorry for the glare, that's off of the acrylic here. I wanted to give you a tip on these words, just real quick. Most of us bought them. They come to like 6 on a sheet. Let me show you. like this. I just want to show you this. They come like this. But you can see the little strip of glue on each side. I don't know how many I have broken of these words to get it off. That is the most stickiest of glue I've ever seen in my life. And every time I try, you know, I'll cut the word off and try to peel it off of it, but they still break. Case in point, this one says memory without the ES. Anyway, so they break because the wood is kind of flimsy. I like to just glue these flat so they don't break. But then I was kind of like, how can I get that off? And like, duh, a light bulb went off. So if you cut it into strips and then you take your heat tool and you heat from the top where the glue is, you can see that strip of glue, and you melt that strip of glue, you can then just peel. You need to kind of hold it and peel it, but you can peel the backing off this wood without it breaking. I would do one strip at a time, heat it till that glue is soft, peel the backing off, do it on the other side, and your word remains intact. Ta-da! Took me long enough to figure that out. Anyway, so there's that side and the word that is intact. And then what I did at the top, this is just a metal piece from my stash, a little ornate corner there. And then I took I made two little journaling cards or photo mats from the Prima Debutante collection that you can find in Renee's shop. And I, you know, sewed the edges and everything. Okay, so that's what I did there. I just wanted a little something in there. And I loved how this said beautiful and lovely on it. So it just kind of went in with the theme. Okay, so then on this side, same thing. I did a little ornate metal corner over here. Two little tags, again from the Debutante collection. Added, it's kind of a mirror image with just a little bit different stuff. Added the real tiny rolled rose. I added right here, you could barely see it, but it is a Prima. I'm trying to, there we go. A little less lighting, you can see a Prima Metal Heart Gear by Ingville Bohm right there. This is a Prima Resin Clock by Ingville Bohm. Couple of $2 bin flowers from my stash and a debutante flower kind of tucked in there. This butterfly is Reneabouquets trim. It is a row of butterflies. The trim comes that way, and you can kind of cut the butterflies apart. Gorgeous, and I love the cute little antenna on it. And so then what I did is I layered a teeny tiny little key in the center for the body. Okay, and then again another one of those words from the $2 bin at Michael's. And both words they weren't white, I painted them white. Okay, all right, so then the next pages, left those blank. Here you can see it just for some real estate. On both sides it's the same paper. So she wanted to put, I doubt she even used it because it doesn't really open up well, but you'll still be able to see the design. But she could put like some photos. Let me lay this down like on this section. She could add photos. So if it lays open, you would see that. Okay, and then the back sides of both are the same. I'm trying to save the clock for last with this beautiful paper here, again from the Sweet Paris collection. This side. Again, she probably won't use that, but she could put photos there, but that way it's at least covered. And then as you open the inside, go down a little bit more. So open this way, open to the front pages. It continues to open into the clock. I know, right? I love it. And you can see how the clock is set on the inside. Just as with the outside, how I used that canvas and I took basil cardstock, cut it in strips to cover the wood of the canvas and sewed it. I did it on the same as the inside. There we go, let it focus for the perimeter so it covers up the wood. But it left me kind of a shadow box area there. And so then the background is a striped paper. You know what, I think that striped paper, that one might be, I think that's from Die Cuts with a View, French Country. That striped paper. Maybe not. Darn it. Oh, no, you know what? That striped paper is my K & Company. Sorry, I have to give you the right things. That striped paper is my K & Company paper because I love kind of stripes with floral. Anyway, and then what I did is took a Prima mask on the back. For the dots, and I did the same thing as on the front. While the modeling paste was wet, I pressed in the glitter glass and then I dried it. And this is from the same mask, those big 12 by 12 Prima masks that have the words on them. So this says blissfully. The clock mechanism you saw, I used the Prima metal numbers and Roman numeral numbers for the clock numbers. This one, though, to make it a 12, the X and the I added a little tiny, 7 gypsies key there to make another 1, so it resembled the word 12, or the letter 12 up there. Okay, so that's what I did there. Let me bring it in. You can see my little key. And I did some of the glitter glass and stuff over the embellishments as well. You can see it like there on the 9, a little bit of glitter glass. Anyway, over to this left side, I layered a little, at the back, a little Prima resin bird. Renee doesn't have these in her shop at the moment, but that's where I got it from. Layered another one of those beautiful Jody Lee butterfly Korean flowers, rolled flowers here. Another little Prima gear. The light is just so dark, you guys, sorry. Some more Michael's flowers. There's another butterfly collection flower down there. And then on the front, I layered a Woodward. I just got this at Walmart. And what I did is I crackled it with the Tim Holtz crackle paint, the Tattered Rose, that's what it's called. Added some glitter glass on it as well. And I wanted to do something fun with the O, and so it was a little bit more decorative. So I layered on top of the O this beautiful Baroque metal frame that comes from Renee's shop. It comes in a set of 2. And then on top of that, layered another little Prima Junkyard Findings clock face from Renee's shop. This is a tiny little Tim Holtz arrow. Layered some debutante flowers here from Prima. And then on top of that, I layered another beautiful pink butterfly from Renee's shop. This is, again, the Tiny Treasures. And this is called Oh So Pinkalicious. Okay. So there is that. Isn't it pretty? I love it. So see, let me adjust my camera down again. And I've apologized for the lighting enough, so you're not going to hear it again. So when she when she goes to open the album, obviously it's like that. She has the front pages, and then if she wants to, she can kind of open like that to show the clock. And then if she had some photos in there, I mean, I don't know how usable it would be with photos, but I just wanted to give her that option. So she can display it kind of on a tabletop like that. If she wanted, she could put some photos over here and over here. So there's photos there, the clock, it's beautiful, it's all about love. If she didn't want to view the clock, she could kind of do it like that. So it's a little bit, so you could see the clock a little bit, but still see a little bit of the mini album. I don't know. Anyway, I had a lot of fun doing this. It all came together with some tons of beautiful products from Renee's shop. I will have the links down below to everything Reneabouquets. I hope you enjoyed looking at this project. There will be close-up photos with better lighting on my blog and also my Pinterest, which the links will be down below as usual. I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.